It's like, how do we use that acronym?
Ooh, welcome to Bogside Chats, where we're talking everything DeFi Kingdoms and keeping it casual. My name is Matty Pesk. Tonight I am joined by Guy Kid. Guy, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. Got an exciting episode for the fans tonight. Looking forward to it.
We have I'm getting an echo now and it's throwing me off. I know we talked about this beforehand.
I told you not to do it. I just closed YouTube.
We also, unfortunately, Franz couldn't make it. So we have a special guest fill-in of Wowie coming on the pod. Wowie, how are you tonight?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic tonight. And I got to say, happy first day of Shamrock Shake at McDonald's. Not sponsored, but, like, you know what I'm saying? It's already St. Patrick's Day.
I hope you said
Shameless
something
plug.
very insightful there because I don't have my headphones on.
It was the most insightful thing I've ever said.
Excellent. Okay, so we're glad to have Wowie on. We're going to talk a little bit of PvP a little bit later in the episode. We got some fun combo theory going on that we might be throwing in some theory crafting at the end there. But our favorite guest, not favorite guest, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I'm excited Wowie's here.
Guest of honor.
Guest of honor tonight. We are very excited to have him joining the pod. Tosh, how are you, bud? Welcome to Bogside Chats.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and kind of reconnect a little bit with the DFK community. So yeah, appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, so for the listeners and for this crew, a little bit of history about Bogside Chats. Guy and Franz and I got into this game in like November of 21 and December 21, right before it hit that 20 sweet spot. But
Good days.
I know. And we were talking about the game all the time, and we loved listening to content creators who were also talking about the game. And at that time, there really weren't there were a couple. I know ADFK guys were just starting to get out, and the Intergrove, Sandwich Punch was doing his thing. But one of our favorite YouTubers and content creators was Tosh. He was out there. I mean, you were in the game, like, what'd you say, like week 2, like almost on day 1, basically. And then you started content creating like soon after that.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy thing. I found DefiKingdoms. I was kind of just like scrolling Twitter on like a random Friday night, and I saw a tweet like back in the day, like everybody was just chilling and everything. So I saw a tweet that had like 3 likes on it. I was like, check out DefiKingdoms. Went through their white paper and then like hung out the Discord, talked with Fox a little bit, and I'm just like, damn, yeah, this is big.
Especially being able to, even back then, I mean, it was still really cool back then, but like it was much less than it is now. Like it was kind of very stripped down, and like, but like you definitely could tell even then, like this is a cool concept. Like
exactly, yeah. Like the white paper kind of outlined everything, but at that point it was just a Dex. It was a Dex that had like really basic game features in it, where they just like called it liquidity pools, seeds, and gardens, and whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was about it.
Yeah. The NPCs were, they're druids and stuff like that. Like
exactly. Yep.
They leaned into it and it made it fun.
For sure.
So sorry, go for it. You say them?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, it was kind of funny looking back. The original art for DFK was actually like bought on Unity for like $10.
I didn't know that. That's wild. That's super cool.
Like they had a couple of the zones that were customized, but like the main map and everything around it was like all just like a $10 pack on Unity.
This is like ancient legends, like ancient lore here we're getting. The inside scoop. Like,
I was here at the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions about ancient DFK,
excellent.
Well, I'll see if I can answer them.
That's awesome. So I guess one of my big questions now, we saw, you tweeted and you said you want to, get back into doing some DFK content, which is like super exciting. I think everybody's pumped for that. Are you still playing the game? I remember seeing a lot of your streams. You had like a massive amount of heroes. Like, do you still have all those heroes? Like, what are you doing with it now?
Yeah, I'm still playing a little bit, kind of on and off. Like I kind of go in waves with it. So there'll be like a couple weeks where I'm like really on top of my questing, and then a couple weeks I'm like, I don't feel like it. It's hard. I have so I do have most of my heroes still. My Gen Zeros have been pumping out fresh Gen 1s too. So I think I have, I don't know, like a little over 100 heroes, maybe like 120 or so. And Yeah, so I'm taking it pretty easy. I was doing some gardening on Crystal Vale. Obviously, I played the Sarah and Dale launch just to do all those degen trades.
Yep.
I'm actually like pretty cool with like Sandwich Punch and Baby Punch and Bloater Punch, all those guys. And we were in a Discord together, and we were like just doing like degen like arbitrage trades, and I was like calling for everybody. So it was fun. Pulled some money off of that. But yeah, right now I'm not doing like a ton in DFK. I'm really just excited for this gameplay to come out. I think like that's the next big step and what we're all waiting for. And it's gonna be like hard for me to get like super excited about anything other than Jewel Price until then.
No, totally. And I think our Wowie would definitely agree with you. Wowie and I liked. Well, I missed the most recent one, but we like to do these weekly Twitch streams where we do a deep dive into like every skill that they release for each hero. So I think that excitement for PvP, like I'm through the roof on that. It's gonna be amazing.
It really goes down rabbit holes.
Oh, yeah. I bet. Yeah, I know. Like, if I've looked at some of the mechanics, and like those pages get like overwhelming as is already. I'm really excited just to like get everything. Like I'm like one of those people who like needs to experience it to like really like fully get it. So I'm waiting, and I'm also a guy who kind of like binges things. So I'm just waiting for everything to be out so I can just binge the hell out of it.
I random tangent, but like I really struggle with any TV show that comes out weekly. I can't. I need to wait for the whole season to come out, and then I'll just plow through. I can't even. I struggle with the weekly watch.
For sure, yeah. I was like get upset. I'm like, oh come on, it's already over. That's so fair.
Yeah. Like Last of Us, I'm so ready for just give me more zombies. I love it.
I haven't started it yet, partially for that reason.
I mean, fair, smart move. All right, very cool. I have to bring this up because this video like is stuck in my head. Like it's going to be stuck in my head forever. And that was Perilous Journey. And like when you did a bunch of videos on it, obviously though, a little bit like there was one video where you're like, okay, here is page 1 of 10 of my like 20 heroes on each page that I'm like you sent, I think definitely over 100, right? For Perilous Journey.
I think I had just over 100, maybe like 105. And then I sent like 80 to 90 of them.
And like what was your success rate on that?
Pretty solid. I can't remember the exact stats on like what percentage survived, but I was looking because he prepared me, and it's really nice that they have the Perilous Journey filter now.
Yep.
I still have 48 Perilous Journey heroes.
Okay.
So nice. I did sell a few. I know I picked up a few later too, because I'm like, oh, that's a Perilous Journey mythic.
Yeah.
There's not that many of those. But yeah, honestly, like that Perilous Journey, that was the best play. Like that was my best play of all last year.
So I remember watching that video, and then like I went back to mine, and I had like 5 heroes, and I decided to send 2, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. This is so stupid. Why am I doing this? And yours is just like, okay, this guy's number 86 of 120 that I'm sending. Like, and
yeah. Like, it paid off though, because
I know.
I'm jealous. Insane. Yeah, and like I was just doing the math with people on stream beforehand, and like I think I had a couple streams before Perilous Journey actually happened where I was talking over the strategy. Everyone's calling me a madman, but I'm like, dude,
I mean, honestly, that was probably me in chat. I probably said it like, this is crazy. And
it was a little crazy. Like I remember I had a legendary sage, which was like a really big deal at the time, who did not make
even now cut. That upsets me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Did not make the cut, so I was really sad about that. But overall, like I sent my 3 Dread Knights, and all 3 of those guys made it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Which was insane. And the crystal payouts on those were stupid.
Yeah. And that was when Crystal was like insane at that point still, like price-wise.
Yeah, Crystal went up to $40 at that point. So I sold all of my Crystal from that between 33 and 40.
Just broke out in a cold sweat remembering $40 Crystal.
Yeah, right. Now I look at the chart, I'm like, oh, that's really sad.
Well, on that, today there was a little bit of a pump, which was nice, and Bitcoin is doing well. So,
honestly, like I'm really surprised that Bitcoin's doing well. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
to me
there's been
right
a lot
now.
of weird like news and regulations and stuff that like
Yeah,
some reason is pumping. Okay, like
yeah, but the market is super degenerate right now, so it's definitely people aren't feeling the bear anymore.
I know. Well, I mean, I guess that was one of my next questions, and I feel like I'm flying through these. Anybody else jump in?
You're
Guy
doing
looking
great.
at you.
Keep going.
Killing it, Maddie.
So outlook for the future on DFK. I know you said you're in and out sometimes. You got weeks where you're like more involved than other times. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. Like, I think I speak for the three of us. Like, we're very bullish. We think this is going to be something that's going to be massive. I mean, are you are you in that same vein? Are you still thinking that this is bullish 100% here?
Yeah, I think so, and I'm pretty confident in bullish. I actually locked up a ton of Jewel for the 3-year period.
Makes sense.
I'm just hoping that like in 3 years, like that we're gonna really see something special out of this. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty bullish on Jewel. Jewel, like the new tokenomics that they made for it are like totally ingenious. And I'm really glad that it's moving away from like both like a power token, like and a staking token. Right now, it's just really like this is your token to like hold stake into this game now. So I think the new tokenomics were absolutely huge. I think really that the gameplay is gonna turn everything. Like I think this could easily do a 10x when gameplay drops out.
Mm-hmm.
But like the meta for crypto games in general has really changed. Like when DFK first came out, like Axie was still really hot, and Axie's still like doing their thing, and they're growing in cool ways. But the whole play to earn concept kind of got mistrusted because there are a lot of Ponzi-nomics in it, and when like the things that you're getting for playing the game are decreasing in value, then eventually it's just gonna kind of bottom out. But the gameplay is really gonna tell everything, because if this game is fun, then it's gonna attract players, and if it attracts players, they're gonna get invested and involved, and then we're gonna see. I'm pretty confident we'll see Jewel go up. NFA though,
yeah, of course, yeah. I 100% agree with that. I think actually Grady did a short 2.5 hour stream last night. For Grady,
one of his quickest. That was incredible.
I know. Yeah, it was pretty quick for him. And he's big on talking about the marketing, and he kind of wants he wants the team to be doing more marketing and to be getting out there and stuff like that. And I think
I totally agree.
Well, yeah, I agree with that too. But I think one thing the chat was saying was like, if PvP is good, like if you build it, they will come. Like while yes, I like the idea of getting out to other influencers in the crypto space and getting the word out there. Like I think that's great. I think there has to be that baseline of a good game.
The kind of debate there too is there enough to promote at this point, like past the original the current player base. Like I really think we need a little more taste of PvP and a little more taste of gameplay to get to that next level.
Yeah, it kind of depends like who you're marketing to. Also, I see a lot of familiar faces in chat. I just want to say hi. Hey, Ogre. Hey, Loki.
No,
what's up, guys?
If you want to talk with chat, interrupt whatever we're saying. That's
okay. Cool.
So, yeah.
Good enough. But yeah, it really depends like who you're trying to market to, because if you're marketing to crypto people, and NFT people, they'll see what DefiKingdoms has built and they'll be like, holy shit, there isn't a single project that's like has this much infrastructure for like their their NFTs and NFT utility. Like other projects like are lucky to have like 1 or 2 staking mechanisms, and like that's it. But DFK has so much more. It's a pretty like luscious universe that they're already creating. If you're marketing,
that's a great point, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too, because we have an update on the $100 challenge, which I think is a little game we're playing that's showing that off exactly, because it's a bunch of different people doing a million different things in the environment, and vast majority of them, a few asterisks, are profitable. Are making money, and there's like, you could be sitting on the in-game decks, you could be buying heroes, you could be hatching pets. Like there's like so much that you can do, and well, I think you're right in terms of like from like the crypto mindset. I think looking at that's like amazing. However, like from the gamers perspective, I think the gamers are like, well, what is this? This isn't a game, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly.
So
it's
it's
not
interesting
right now.
yeah. So I think it is interesting in terms of like who you're marketing to. I think that's key. And I think, Guy, what you're saying, like, I think we need a little more, like, for the game, at least for like to advertise to gamers.
Don't get me wrong. I love summoning. I could summon for another year and have absolutely no problem with it. But I'm curious how many people feel that way.
Right. Yeah. And especially too, I mean, I think at this point right now, the clay gas is a little expensive, and it's just expensive enough to be frustrating. Where I'm just like, why is it? And so I am curious on that and on like expanding to other, blockchains and stuff like that, because I mean obviously that's their plan, but I think I don't know. I think they got to build the game. I think that's the bottom line.
I would like to see like a good amount of time before we see another expansion. Like,
right.
Like
yeah.
honestly, I'd be a little upset if we saw another expansion this year.
I think that's fair, especially now if we get PvP, if we get a version of PvP, and then they're like, now we're working on expansion. I would allow that,
Right.
but I think you're 100% right. Like, I think we have to get some gameplay out. I mean, Wowie, yeah. I'm sure you're in the same boat, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, my sentiments are in the exact same place. I know I live in the, like a quarter future from now, where I'm just thinking of nothing but PvP and the value of everything in terms of PvP. But taking it a step further, I'd like to actually get your guys' opinion on how do you think the ecosystem is going to react when the rest of the NFTs fill out DFK. We're already seeing this with the pets, right? And then those are going to be getting their utilities. But then on top of that, we're going to get crafting, and we're going to see gear NFTs. Like, I think that is actually going to be the real market when it comes out. Heroes aren't going to be they're going to be valuable, sure, but they're not going to be
I spent so much time looking at heroes. Come on.
Well, it's all going to be like think of the meta, and I know this is a little off track, but like thinking of the meta in the far, far future, it's all going to be about who can get the gear to support the build rather than who can just build the best hero.
No, I think that's very interesting too. And that's a whole nother market / environment of like, you could literally have heroes that are your crafting heroes that craft certain weapons that are popular in the market because of the meta. Archers with this longbow, everybody wants this longbow. So if you can build it, if you have a guy who's good at building it, now that guy's worth money and the bows are worth money. So I think while it is a ton going on right now in the ecosystem and in the environment,
it's a fraction.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface of this, which is just insane.
Right, and note that like all those crafting, like all that's gonna be like random stats too. So it's like you'll have a 1% chance of getting a mythic bow or whatever.
Yep.
So,
and then who's to say that those don't have levels on them as well to level up?
Yeah,
that's interesting. And I mean,
do pets level up?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because I haven't seen the idea of pets leveling up since like they talked about this very early on, like when pets first came out. They were like potentially they will be able to level up. And maybe this is a question for like the Mythic Squad guys, because I know they're all about pets. I don't know if I saw them in the chat, but I don't think pets are going to have levels. I know they have like the feeding bonuses, but I don't think the pets are going to have levels themselves. Have you guys seen anything on that?
I'm not specifically sure. I do feel like there was some kind of analysis of like level 1-star foraging pets versus 2-star foraging pets.
Right. Yeah. There's like different bonuses.
Unprofitable at first, but like what does at first mean?
Yeah.
That kind of implies
for
a
the
leveling
hero.
scheme.
Yeah. Well, it's like
professions.
Because you have to feed the pets some of the materials for the bonuses to be effective.
Right.
So like low level guys that have low bonuses, whatever bonus you're getting, that value is not going to be worth the cost of feeding them. But it's only like the like common 1-star, like really crappy pets that this applies to. And even then they said like it's very little, it's like almost even value. So I think that analysis leads me to believe that there's not levels, because they would just say like, oh, you'll level out of it. You know, that's not what they answered. They said that there is that kind of diminished returns. So
yeah, I'm kind of glad that there's not. I feel like
I
that's
kind of
like
agree
too
too.
much.
Yeah, I think
There's already so many things.
Layers on layers on layers.
Well, and we're talking about all these layers that are the core Kingdom Studios game. If DFK is a great game in of itself, it's going to encourage other game developers to come build in the ecosystem that will then create all these other mini games and side projects as well.
Yeah, talking about marketing, like I feel like that idea should be marketed out better too. Like looking for more collaborations between projects. Like how cool would it be like if DFK paired up with like Pudgy Penguins, and then like Pudgy Penguins built something on DFK chain? Like that would be insane, you know?
I mean, I think, and that it at least from the DFK atmosphere environment, like that's built in. It's a pet, you know, like it's
so
already
easy.
built. Like
yeah, the penguins are already there. Like they can just
like
add their like a unique
exactly
one.
like, you know, some weird lore, like they traveled from a weird land and they're here now, or you know, whatever. Like like yeah, I 100% agree. And Fox has talked about this. He hasn't really recently. There was like a string of AMAs where he talked about like metaverse and like adding other games and stuff like that. And he's kind of pulled back from that, I think, more recently. But I think that was definitely on like his original like kind of roadmap and ideas of like having that kind of like inner game like atmosphere, which I think would be great, because I think again I like that as a marketing tool much better than kind of like shilling to other YouTubers. You know, like.
Yeah, it's
diminished
way more
returns there, I
organic.
think. Yeah.
Right. It's way more organic because like you got like the two projects will collaborate. They'll figure out a way that like, hey, if you come to DFK, then you get something special, or if we go to Pudgy Penguins, then you get something special.
Yeah,
and then it gets both audiences to intermingle, and both audiences grow as a result.
Yeah.
So I would love to see more of those kind of connections from the marketing team, because yeah, you're totally right. Like. It's crazy just like how much has changed in crypto, and like the crypto meta, and even just the last year is like it's not about like getting either like these creators to be like, oh, I think this is a really good game. Like that's not as effective anymore. You have to show it.
Yeah, and I think too. I think at this point, you know, if you're interested in this game, you're gonna like you're already interested in the game. You know what I mean? Like I know that was a poor way of explaining that, but yeah, like if you're interested in this, and I say
people
like,
that get it are in, and they're sticky, and they're not going anywhere in the environment.
Like the people that are in are like here strongly. Like
like when I say like Wowie and I do a 5-hour stream where we break down one class, and you're like, I'm in, like that person doesn't need convincing, you know, like
for sure. Like, yeah, you're preaching to the choir right there.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. So the idea of saying like this game is great, you should play it, random person, I don't love that as much as a marketing tool, you know. Right. And again, I know I can hear Grady losing his mind right now because he wants to tell everybody about it, which I think also is a good, you know, maybe part of the community doing that it is beneficial. I don't think it's a negative, but I think there's better ways to do it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Like I've been following like content creators that make content about content creating.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And a lot of them are saying like it's just kind of like the way that the meta is shifting. It's like it's all about like strong community and people outsiders seeing that it's a strong community and then wanting to join from there. It's all about like building this organically and really like the loudest projects. Like the projects with loud communities like do really well, because crypto and NFTs and gaming crypto is all about hype. It really is.
Yeah. I think, you know, Dreamer's been talking about centralized exchange listing. I think that would be a huge boost. That, I mean,
where are we on that?
So apparently Dreamer's been having a lot of meetings, you know, and he has a background in risk management from an executive level, so like he knows his shit, and like he's meeting with important people to like get that done. I mean, like when my friends ask me what should I do, should I just buy on Coinbase if I want to get into crypto, I'm like no. Typically that's my advice, but like in terms of getting eyes on Jewel, getting on Coinbase would be incredible. You know, you can't deny
sure.
that in terms of the value. Like it will increase the value. I like, technical wise, I'm not super pumped, but like, give and take. I realize it's not a perfect world.
Yeah, I think that will be pretty beneficial. Like if we get a sex listing, like what we need is just for the purchase to become accessible, and like a lot of people only trade through centralized exchanges. They don't have a MetaMask, or like won't even like be bothered to put in the effort to create a MetaMask and manage it. So we got to like move the option to them rather than like force them on our platform.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like, wait, you want me to write down 12 words? What? I know. But like, no, I know. I agree with you very much so there. I think for especially like Axie, that's how Axie got huge. They were on centralized exchanges and people are like, wait, what's this? A game with NFTs that I can buy this easily? Like
they're so cute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which once people saw the art for DFK, I think, maybe not that exact same response, but like they'll be pumped because it's fun and cool. It's like pixelated, and I like art.
Oh, for sure. It was nostalgic for a lot of people. Like anybody who grew up with a Super Nintendo, nostalgic for.
Totally. All right. So you talked about watching content meta. What are your plans now? Are you coming back to make more videos? The people want to know. The people are excited. Is Tosh back? Yeah.
Is Tosh back? I don't know. I think I'm back in a new way.
Perfect. That's a great
answer. So I think the crypto channel, I probably won't be making videos for maybe like another month or two would be my timeline. But for now, I want to get a lot more active on Twitter, writing more threads on crypto, diving into projects, including like NFT and like other gaming projects. Also, like my background is that I have my master's in behavioral psychology, and I'm a board certified behavior analyst.
Oh, why is that in quotes?
I think the title sounds really pretentious.
People don't put it together, but my nickname is Matty P, and I'm a lawyer, and ESQ is just added to the end of that.
Oh, nice.
So like I also hate fake titles like that too. So don't worry about it.
For sure. But anyway, on my Twitter, I'm gonna be writing like more threads on like behavioral psychology as well. And the first several are gonna like kind of tie this into the crypto market, just kind of see if like
that's cool.
People are interested in learning more about this. Basically, like I'm plugging my shit here, but
that's why you're here. Do it.
Word, thanks. With like behavioral psychology, we tend to take like a more objective view of the whole world. We're also believe in like deterministic behavior, so we don't really like thinking about choice. We think about more about like what environmental variables impact choice. So a lot of the threads I'll be writing are going to kind of like bring awareness to like things that maybe affect your own behavior or affect like behavior of others that might be frustrating to you. And also like behavior of markets and looking at some social psychology and like what trends are actually going. So I'll be writing more threads.
This sounds super cool. And obviously I think you know your shit, but you want to do this with the NFT community? I mean, good luck is what I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think everybody's going to be interested in it, but I think there might be a little bit of overlap.
No, that sounds super interesting. I would check that out.
Cool. I'm glad. But yeah, in addition, like there will be a lot of crypto stuff on there too. So yeah, follow me on Twitter if you're not already cool. at Tosh on Trash.
Definitely, yeah, and well, yeah, we'll shoot it out and stuff like that. All right. Very cool. All right. So we got a few other things we want to talk about, and we're going to wrap up probably at, what did I say? 10:30?
If DFK guys are still
whenever Avengers and DefiKingdoms, they're going to go live tonight, so we don't want to overlap. So we're going to close up or wrap up by the time they're going live. But one thing I did really want to talk about, which is very cool, I think most of the people in the chat know about this, is the $100 challenge. And I want to hand it over to the guy in first place right now, everyone.
I don't know how people are keeping score, but sure, my name.
You're in first place right now. You need to be bragging about it. All right, so this was a shout out to Sergeant Phil D. McNasty. This was sort of his brainchild. The question was, if you have $100 and you were getting into DeFi Kingdoms right now, what would you do so that 1 month later you would for sure, have made value? What is the best way to kind of get value out of the DFK ecosystem? So a bunch of streamers and some other people decided to take part, and they all started new wallets for it. Myself, I'm in third place, and I feel pretty good about it. But Guy, why don't you kind of take away, like, what did you decide to do with your $100, and why are you in first place?
Yeah, so I was looking at $100 and being like, all right, how do I make sure I can do a couple different things with this? So originally I thought of like just buying a Gen 1 pair, summoning with those guys, and going down from there. But I was looking at it of like buying a Gen 1 pair would take a good chunk of your wallet and could maybe get away with 2 pairs. And then so I started thinking through a couple other strategies that I could do. So what I actually did is I bought Gen 2 9 of 9 pairs because the floor is like 52 crystal and 9 of 9 Gen 2s are like 58 or 65 crystal. And so pretty much,
floor. I mean, like a few, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you're pretty much guaranteed to get floor value back and have like your chance of losing money is very, very low. The other unique dynamic happening right now is Crystal and Jade aren't at parity. So when you look at your Gen 2 pairs, everyone usually stays away from that because your summoning cost starts at 52 crystal. But looking at Crystal to Jade, your summoning cost is actually like 40 crystal if you summon on Serenade.
Switch it over, right?
And then floor is at 55. So it's like your worst case scenario, you're making like 15 crystal a summon.
But so you're buying. I want to follow this right. You're buying it,
and this is
sending it over, doing the summon in Jade, and then sending it back and selling it in Crystal. And then whatever that ARB is even if the hero is floor, there's like an automatic value in it.
Exactly. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of like low risk, medium reward because you get to play. It's not just like trying to flip heroes on the market. Like you're still summoning, you're still playing the game. You've got the RNG component. So I've hit a couple ninjas, which is fun. I've hit a lot of advanced abilities, which is cool, which advanced abilities aren't like fully priced into the market, but they're getting there. So it's been fun. I think I'm on my 6th Gen 2 pair at this point. So I've just been cruising through it.
Yeah. So this shout out, this chart was made by iOS Code. He took everybody's wallets who are participating in this little challenge. And so he's got the token value. So whatever, some token value might be like gardens, or I think he puts like gold and some other things in that. And then heroes and pets, and kind of like ranks everybody. So you and Christian, I think Christian might be doing a similar thing to you, to be honest, because I knew he was going to be summoning. I knew that's what he was talking about doing. And he has 13 heroes, so I'm assuming that's what he's going for, is like the pure summoning thing. But he has, when your token value, you have 33. Are you holding on to some tokens still there, or?
So I've still got, I try to have no more than like 2 pairs going and make sure I'm flipping my heroes.
Yeah.
So I'm holding on to like 150 crystal or something like that at this point.
Right.
The other thing I did, so originally when I looked at my wallet, I was like, all right, I want to do 50% into heroes, 25% into LPs, and then another 25% into like, who knows, maybe pets or something else, maybe hold on to it. So I did throw $20 into liquidity pools, like the non-reward LPs of like I did like gold and crystal and tiers and crystal.
Yeah.
And after like the first, I think we're about a week into it. So after like the first 5 days, I think my LP made like 0.6 crystal. Yeah. So I was like, all right, with this amount of money, like whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just keep doing my hero summoning system has been working. So I'll just keep doing that. And I sold out of the LPs for the most part.
Interesting. So that's interesting. I like the Gen 2. And you made sure like the matches were like the 9 of 9 matched probably multiple abilities and then also a class, right?
Ideally, I was going 2 abilities and then a class. Yeah.
Yeah. And they all were like generally floor for.
Right. I think my most expensive Gen 2 was 80 crystal.
Yeah. See, all right. So I went with a super boring strategy. I put 50% in the gardens, and whatever was left, I bought heroes. and I've just been grinding the heroes, and I'm in third place. So I mean, I think because my heroes are just they're getting gold, and they're getting whatever the gardens is. They're getting a teeny bit of jewel and crystal every time they do it.
How long does it take to get from level 1 to level 5?
So that was one thing. I didn't get exactly floor heroes. I tried to find heroes that had high profession scores. So I found a bunch of guys they had the experience enough to level up, but like somebody just didn't want to level them up and put them on the market, and they had like crazy high profession scores. So I had leveled them up and have just been pushing those high profession scores to get like as much as I can out of their questing.
Yeah.
Which they've gotten me like a ton of like Shiva's runes and gold and some of the gardening items and stuff like that, which I don't know what the rules were using for those. Like I might just sell those at the end to try and get like whatever value out of them.
For your items, yeah. Why not?
But the heroes themselves, my plan is to level them up and then maybe try and sell them for higher. Or again, I don't know how we're going to value them in this contest, but like
I'm gonna try to get my wallet all the way back to crystal, unless I end up with like a legendary bard or something.
Yeah, like you hit on something crazy. But yeah, I think basically mine's basically just slow and steady is my strategy, and I think it's doing well for me. I know I don't know everybody's strategy. I know our good friend Franz here is at the bottom, which I wish he was here to explain why he's at the bottom, but.
Didn't he just hold? I thought he was holding it in USDC.
There's no way he's lost $30 holding USDC.
Was it one USDC?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But I know.
DFK chain's been depegged.
I know. Beeve here has basically said he's given up. He literally went all in on pets and didn't hit on anybody. Is what he said.
Oh no!
Like they all were bad. So I don't know what he's doing. I'm also curious on what Zabu's doing, because I thought, Zabu's kind of our, potato hero is kind of his shtick. So I thought he was just going to go pure floor heroes, but he only has 6 and $30. So he's definitely doing something else other than just floor heroes. I'm curious to hear from him. I know Grady is doing LP pools because that's like that's what he's all about. So, and I don't know what Brown Gent's doing either, but he's got 2 heroes and a decent amount of cash.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing so. Like from an EV perspective, advanced heroes like buying a ninja summoner pair is actually like your best return. It's just ROI. So I'm curious.
Well, unless you get screwed
high
and get like
risk, rather. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get an off, basic on that, you're screwed completely.
Yeah. So I'm curious if he's doing that with only 2 heroes. I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing some level of arb trading or something along those lines.
And then I'm pretty sure our friend Corey is the one who was sticking with the USDC, and it's at 91, which is not good for crypto in general.
Yeah.
But this is super interesting. I really like this to show that like there's all these different strategies and like all these different things you can do in the ecosystem. And like, if crypto continues bearing, and we all lose, then that's no reflection on DFK, that's just life. But this is very cool. I hope you win. I like your strategy a lot.
Nice.
I think
it's fun.
It's way more fun than mine, because mine's just questing.
What I don't miss is this goes back to like my early days DFK, where like I remember the first time I summoned a 5/5 Dark Knight, and literally every 3 hours I was refreshing it on the tavern, lowering it by like 4 crystal because 4 jewel at the time, because that was like $100 difference, and I was holding on to like a hero that was worth like $1,500 or $2,000.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was.
But like. Yeah. I'm back in that same mentality now because I want to flip these things so that I can do more summoning, but it's annoying taking 6 heroes off the market and lowering it by 3 crystal and putting it back on.
Well, also one thing we said in this game is that no bots can be used. That was a rule, so it's definitely interesting because I know a vast majority of these people use some sort of bot in their regular wallets. So, and especially myself, like I'm not used to this kind of like constant grinding, and it's
what bot are you guys using?
I'm not gonna lie, it's not the most fun.
What bot are you guys using?
So I think for the most part, Bogside chats were all about the DFK helper.
Okay, cool.
DFK helper.
Yeah, Zealous and Coolio are our go-to. I know Franz previously did. What was the one he did prior? Guy, do you remember?
I forget his name.
Yeah, he
was
did one
doing
prior
waifu
to
bot
that, but now I think
beforehand.
we're all of us are on Helper now, and I think
Yeah.
I
I
think Helper's
just
great. I'm sure
got-
the other ones are great too, but like I love Helper, so
Yeah, I got my
Helper
tavern
takes the
sale
cake.
set up successfully on Helper this week, which was a lot of fun. I sold my first 2
that's
heroes
amazing.
through Helper.
Yeah.
Oh,
That same
nice.
process I just complained about, like just being able to set it in a Google sheet and forget about it, is amazing.
Like not having to worry that like it'll take it off, quest it, and put it back on. Like
that's
so
pretty
nice.
dope.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like little
Hell
things
yeah.
like that. And then like the team has talked about having some in-game bots, and I hope they still do that. But right now, like I don't see why I would ever go away from Helper. Like I love it.
Yeah, TuneFez asking if I use a bot. Right now, I'm all manual, but I'm open to a bot.
With
I
100
should've pulled this
heroes,
up.
you should 100% be
100
using
heroes?
Helper.
Yeah, you 100% should be on a bot.
Yeah,
Oh
for sure. Yeah, it's usually just questing just doesn't happen all the
Yeah.
time.
No, I mean, 100%. It's life. You can't be constantly like on there or whatever, you know.
I know, even with multi-quest, a little too much.
I know, no, 100%. All right. So this is a $100 challenge. I'm very excited about this. Guy Kid, I hope you win. If not, I hope I win. And Franz,
I saw the intern's comment. We will definitely have a pizza party if I win.
who's having a pizza party?
Pizza on you?
Yeah, through the
win?
$100 that I got
Because
back.
I'm pretty sure. So originally, Brown Gent said winner takes all wallets,
Oh,
and I was like, no, I don't agree to that. So I think it's just bragging rights. But if you want to do a pizza party, Guy, I'm in.
Sold.
I don't know. I mean, we're all degens here. I think all
know,
the wallets
I
is
know.
fair.
No, I mean,
I know everyone
I had to
on
say
this
no.
list has
Otherwise,
much
everyone was
more
ready
than
for the winner
$100
take all. They all wanted to
invested
do
in
it.
this game. Yeah.
Well, come on, it'd be a little fun, man.
Well, I'm gonna end up with Beaver's bad pets. I don't want that.
Yeah, right. You get all the shit wallets. Everybody just
I think
takes
yeah,
their
I think one of the
wallets.
main reasons we didn't do it, because if we did it that way, everyone would be degenning the last day.
Oh
And
yeah,
you would just end up with floor heroes or
Yeah.
nothing.
That could make it interesting though. Like somebody just pulls a mythic because they like degen summon too much.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wins them all. That'd be funny.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm not playing. This is your guys' game.
If I randomly
I just want a good show.
If I randomly summoned a mythic and I was about to lose it, I would just be like, so I'd send it to myself and be like, I'm cheating. I don't care. Anyways, all right. We will update you guys on this. Obviously, if Guy wins, we'll be celebrating with a pizza party. Everybody's invited.
I did not say that, but that's
Pizza on Guy because his $100 wallet is going to be worth millions. So
Rich.
excellent. All right. So to wrap up tonight, I wanted to talk more stuff about PvP. So Guy, actually, it's been a while since we've talked about PvP. I know I've talked with Wowie on his Twitch stream a ton, but Guy, have you been following the releases that they've been doing? Have you looked at any of the skill trees that they've been coming out with?
I've looked at most of them. I've looked at the lovely Wowie spreadsheets, so that's been good too. I'm just super excited because it just seems deep. There's so many things that are going to factor into PvP, and I can't wait for them to release the game because I can't wait for everyone to instantly break it, because that's 100% going to happen.
Well, I don't
My
know
goal.
about break. Well,
Right.
I mean, Wowie, what do you think about that comment? Break.
Breaks
Like, what is that?
breaks
Yeah.
a hard word, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's actually going to happen. And I think if
Oh, you do? Okay.
if we're not stress testing as hard as humanly possible in the very beginning, it's just going to create a problem down the road. So we need to break as much as we possibly can, so that it's even more stable
I'm with
in
Wowie.
the next quarter.
I'm with Wowie. Let's break it.
All right. So I mean, I'm just nervous on break because I'm a negative person. I just think that means I'm going to be losing to everyone. That's what I get when I hear that. That's what I think. But yeah, I mean, they've said they're going to do some balancing changes and stuff like that, and so I'm sure there's combos that are going to be game breaking. I think we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 classes, 7 basic classes.
Ooh,
I mean,
I like Bob Nothing's comment. We got to highlight that. If they just release basic classes and call that the alpha, that would be really interesting.
what do you mean?
That would be interesting.
Yeah. And that'd be a decent way to do it, because it's like releasing a couple heroes to see if the general gameplay mechanics work.
Oh, you're saying have an actual
out
have a live PvP with just the basic classes.
right.
Yeah.
So
no,
that they don't
I
have
think
to build out every single skill tree day one.
I think it's a great way to do it. I would love to see that. My only problem would be there's a ton of people that have Archer, Dark Knight, or like the subclasses mixed in there,
subclasses.
which now all those if this is the version of PvP that we get, none of those would be eligible for whatever version that we get.
That's a good point with subclasses.
It wouldn't be the end of the world, but like it would piss off a lot of people. I think of like
Also, your people holding dreads and goons.
well, yeah, that too, but
for sure.
Wowie, what are your thoughts in general, kind of like in the classes that you've seen? I mean, do you think that there are, just on what you've seen, like, are there options for breaking the game? Like, just from your, like, macro, like, do you think there are combinations here that are just going to be untouchable?
Untouchable? I don't think so.
Okay.
Ramping extremely hard versus a basic regular setup? Absolutely yes. I'm actually doing a build right now, which I think is going to be absolutely ridiculous, and it's based off of just basic attacking.
Interesting. Which is the one I'm looking at right now, Berserker, the most recent one, right?
it's part Berserker.
Yeah, I guess, as a sub, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. I'm thinking Warrior Berserker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's as simple as it could possibly get for physical melee.
Swings hard. He just swings hard. Yep.
But
is that, and like the Seer does so many wild things. Like you think a build that just swings very, very hard is going to be the best meta?
Yes, I actually do.
Wow, that was a confident answer. That was a confident answer. Yeah.
And here's why I say this, right?
Okay.
And I know you're going to really appreciate this because it's for the consistency kings. If you can consistently rely on a strategy every single game, you're more likely to win. If you're giving everything to chance, if you've picked out an entire build that just says deal 10 billion damage at 90 DOD, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're leaving a lot on the table.
1% chance to win every time.
1% chance to win every time definitely does not beat out my 99% chance I'm going to get something out of this turn.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, well, okay. That's a great segue. So I've been working on a little thing that I want to show you, Wowie. I'm very excited to have you on this one. So one thing that a lot of these the skill trees that we've seen, a lot of them have a mechanic called combo, where this skill gains value or gains some sort of thing in it if another skill was used prior or is active currently, right? And it's a lot of games use this before. This isn't like mind-blowing stuff. It's basically like if you used this move prior, now this new move is super strong, right? And I think Warrior is a great example of that, because Warrior is like very straightforward and there's not a lot of combos. Warriors just swing hard and you swing harder at higher levels, right. But like Seer and Pirate specifically. And why can I not share the screen? Why am sorry, let me pull it up because I have a fancy spreadsheet I want to show you.
We need the
And it really makes my comment smart, and now I can't find it.
Oh my God. Spreadsheet release date. I'm so hyped right now.
I called it combo analysis, and it's not.
So with this Warrior build, do you go all passive skill tree?
No. I actually have what Maddie's talking about right here, a combo series in which you just make your basic attacks even better.
Wait, that's not what I wanted. Well, but that's all right. So hold on. I gotta pull up my thing. Hold on. Let me find my thing. Everyone pause for like a minute. Like the whole.
Do we have some hold music we can throw on?
Yeah. Throw on some hold music for me.
I know you said, Wowie, what are your thoughts? I was like, we got 45 minutes, right?
Okay, so I put it down. I used basic colors that they use, not your fancy colors that you like to use. So I think Archer is a very good example where there's 3 different paths you can choose in the Archer. Okay, flurry, precision, and marksmanship are the 3 different choices. The marksmanship path, there are no combo bonuses. So if you pick all marksmanship abilities, they all give you their value just at face value. You don't have to do any other moves to get more value. Precision has a whole bunch of combos, but it's all within that same tree. And Flurry has a couple, but it's all within the Flurry tree. And so I think Archer is a good example of kind of like basically what I'm talking about here, where
you're going to go down one of those 3 paths.
Exactly.
And if you go down the precision path, you're going to have a lot of combination moves.
Right.
One of the negatives of combination moves, in my opinion, is they could be predictable.
Yes, 100%. And I agree with that. And so Berserker, and let me zoom back in a little bit. Berserker has some like weird ones that are not in the same path. And I'm calling the bleed a combo, and wow, we can kind of talk about that separately because it's weird how it's added to the
100%
Berserker.
is.
But I'm basically calling that a combo because it's a requirement for that move to get that value, you know.
Gotcha.
And so you see Berserker has all these different like weird combos that like to get the full value of some of his moves. You know, to get the full value out of Primal Rend, you need to do a move that's in a different path, you know? And you just have to think about that when you're building your Berserker, where especially versus Archer, it's much more straightforward, you know? So I think we need to look at all of these classes before we like really can build out like what's going to be game breaking, because some of them I think are going to be very straightforward and some of them are going to be incredibly complex.
100%. And the more like, I don't know, the best way to put this, right, is like the more sneaky you can be about your build, usually the better it's going to be. The more unpredictable you can make it, like it's just about consistency, right? So
It kind of depends. Like every game has like their bread and butter builds that like this is simple but effective.
Wowie knows how excited I am about this right now. Like,
like I kind of think about like this is gonna almost play like Magic the Gathering, where it's like there's so many different ways to win and like so many different combinations that one isn't just gonna trump everything ever. But you're gonna have like certain builds be better against other certain builds, and
totally
vice versa.
Totally. And I want to throw out Pirate because I think Pirate is one of the most complex in terms of getting the like maximum value out of their moves. They have a couple different moves that are cross paths, and I need to come up with a better terminology there. I guess paths is the best way to say it.
Split tree.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
And there's also ones in Pirate especially where if you make a decision early on to pick a certain ability, then other moves later, you are not going to be able to get the combo value out of it. So I think Pirate is one of the most complex ones, as is Seer, but for kind of different reasons. But Pirate, I think, is a very complex skill tree. And I think these complex skill trees, I think I'm going to start avoiding them for subclasses because they're not going to get their maximum value because you need to have a full kind of tree to get the full value out of all of them. And now I'm still early in my like master combo analysis, but this is kind of just like a preview of what I'm thinking of it. And I'm so impressed with the team. Like this is such it's so complex, and and the fact that I can create these spreadsheets and like have this analysis, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I love it. like this is just like everything I wanted out of a strategy game, you know?
Right, and we're like not even fully there yet.
We've seen 7 of the skill trees. And that's only of the basics, you know.
With X's for values.
Also, we got Grady in the chat. What up, Grady?
Oh, Grady! Grady, I hope you listened to the beginning. We were shouting you out. Well, I don't know. Shout out's a loose term. We mentioned you earlier, Grady. But Wowie, I guess my question is: have you looked at those? You know, because I think there's a lot of moves where you have to have the combo to get that full value, and there are some classes where if you can't get those combos, some of those moves are not worth the value, you know?
100%. But at the same time, like you're always looking at the utility of the move, right?
Yeah.
Does the utility of the base move outweigh in certain scenarios the value of the combo, right? Do I need the combo to keep consistency, or can I throw out this quick utility as like a support during my round?
Yeah.
And there might be like single moves that are better than the combo too. So
yeah, no, 100%.
Like
I
you
think
go back to that archer precision tree of like archers, those precision or the marksmanship rather.
Yeah, marksmanship.
Oh, those marksmanship moves are just going to hit hard.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, that's
100%.
especially the archer is like the execute move.
Right.
That's where like if your hit point is below a certain amount, it's an execute. Like that's it. And there's
a
no
ton of
combo. It's
DoD.
very straightforward. It's just like it's an execute. So. Yeah, and I think Seer has some interesting things, and especially its capstone as well, where you have to have 4 different prerequisites to get maximum value out of it. Even though it's getting all of it pulled off is insane, but it's like a lot to pull off.
Yeah,
So,
it's one of those.
I know you.
Moves.
Wait, sorry. Say that again, Wowie.
It's one of those move sets where it's like, okay, to me, you're always trying to play a counter to whatever your opponent is doing, right? It's like, so you want to set up these, what I like to call baits or traps that your target is going, okay, they're going to be laying this foundation. I know exactly what they're going to be doing next. And then you just play however you're going to do it, right? It gives them something to do.
Right.
They have to answer what your setup is, unless, or rather, you're going to get value out of it, right?
Yeah.
Their whole job is to stop you from getting value. And if I can bait them into blowing some giant combo or cleanse or dispel or giant defensives at one moment, well, I've just turned this little series trap into a huge gain for nothing.
I 100% agree with that, and I think this is where my ultimate goal. I need to do more research on this because I think I want to add, especially when we get the mana value of like what these moves are. I think.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be big.
I think the question remains of like, is that threat, is like being the bait, is it worth building an entire skill tree on? You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it's going to be. I think I've been rethinking a lot of these combo stuff because I think. Yes, there are a few of them, like we were talking about, like Tosh, what you said. Like, there's a few of them where like the move itself is just good. It doesn't need the combo, like whatever. But I think there's also some of them that I don't want to do it if I don't have the combo, and it's gonna cost too much for my hero to have to pick the right moves. I'm gonna have to cut off other branches of my tree. And granted, I want to see all the classes before I can kind of make my final assessment. But I'm anxious about combo in general. I guess that's my thesis here.
You got a feeling they're gonna be dank.
Yeah, like I'm curious because even being the bait, I don't know if that's worth it. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I feel like there's just so many different strategies that like everything's gonna kind of have its place.
Fair.
That's what I think.
100%. I mean, and you got to remember, you're not just playing one character; you're playing 3 at a time.
Right.
So the bait can be, I don't really have anything better to do this turn with this character. I'm just going to set up with my other ones and maybe just make them think that something bigger is coming next round when all I've got is buffs.
Yeah, and like I don't know if you guys ever played Axie at all, but like kind of like the meta for a while was to have like your plant like tanky hero up front and then have like your glass cannons in the back.
Sure. Yeah.
So like even though like the tank might not be like having that much output, like just them being in that position and soaking up damage for so long is the utility of it. So it'll be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of ways to play this. I'm just excited to start seeing it piece together.
No, 100%. And I say it all the time when I'm talking to WoWie. Like I agree with you, Tosh. I think the classic like tank, DPS, healer. Just give me the classic. Give me the give me the triumvirate, and I'm good. Because especially like Pirate and Seer right now are just crazy classes that are like bizarre builds of like it's like a buff utility versus turn manipulation. Like they're very strange, and I'm nervous that if you don't have the right combo and if you don't play it the right way, you're just gonna lose. Because it is a high degree of difficulty, and I don't mean that in the term of how it's used in the game. I just mean high degree of like play difficulty to like get it right.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous about that.
Well, that's what us content creators are going to be here for, to tell everybody the good strategies and shift the meta on our own.
Exactly.
Yes.
What I'm curious is those like utility players, it's going to be really hard to fit that into your three hero team if you're going tank, healer, DPS. Because is DPS crowd control and utility, or is it DPS?
It's for me. It's DPS. Yeah.
Well, I mean that's a really good point, though. I mean, you want to have outs, right? I want my DPS units to also be able to support in certain times, right? So if I've got a warrior berserker, right, like we were talking about earlier,
right.
There's no reason why I can't go into an active for the warriors in the Juggernaut tree and go for a defensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When it calls for it.
And so that you're saying, well, then it's like a hybrid DPS tank is what you want to build.
Yeah, but just when you need it.
But like if it's the warrior berserker though, you have to waste a move on a defensive move.
Right. But if my front line gets like obliterated.
But if that's what I'm saying, like, you know, especially we got warrior up now. The gladiator is the kind of more damage dealing. Bloodthirst also, but like if you wasted a turn on Juggernaut or wasted a skill point on a Juggernaut thing, you might not be able to complete your perfect, you know, Mighty Strike combo.
Yeah. Again, it's all just going to come down to your strategy. Like, is your strategy to like burst their one hero down in the first turn, or is it like to slowly control everybody and then just like slowly do damage? Or are we just like beefing up and like waiting like an endurance battle? Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of viable strategies, and we have to like actually play it to figure it out.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I mean, we really need to see how things resolve in what order.
Totally.
I think that's a very good point of like, and this goes back to what we were talking about of like, even if it's basic classes, like we do need something. Like we need it as soon as possible, for multiple reasons. One, just because I want to play really bad, but also two, I think for that marketing aspect and that stuff we were talking about earlier, I think having something actually, even if it's a modified, stripped down version, I think that would be so good for DFK in terms of like the ecosystem and showing people and stuff like that. I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, I would hope, oh man, worst case scenario is like they do a stripped down version and it's like buggy and like it's not ready yet. Like I don't want them to do that, but like getting something out there that shows how cool this is, I think would be ideal, you know?
Yeah. Kind of off topic, but have they mentioned like how it's going to interact with like on chain versus off chain? Like, are people going to need to do like a MetaMask transaction for like every match that they do?
So a while ago, originally, there was going to be a version of that, which was like you were going to set your like pre-game, you would kind of set your what you want to do. But now, like in kind of Wisdom Games taking over, what they're going to do is you're basically going to have the entire fight. And this, I don't know for sure. I don't know like the actual technical, but you're going to have the entire fight, and then like the results are going to be printed onto the block.
It's probably going to be a MetaMask transaction to initiate the fight, and then the fight will happen off chain, and the result will close on chain.
Gotcha.
That's sort of what we think is going to be right now, and actually that's I think that's a question that they could answer, and maybe we should ask them, because that's not revealing any spoilers of, you know, I mean, that's just like technical of how it's going to work.
Well, it'd be cool. Like if we wanted to attract like a gaming audience, I think it's really important to just like be able to get into the game really easily. So it'd be cool if there was like a demo version with like limited options and like, here's like the stats of your NFTs or whatever.
Wait. You're saying a version where Matty Pesk can play WoWie in a match and everyone can watch? Oh, that would be great.
But like a demo version that like doesn't link to a wallet though. Like no,
100%. Like, yeah, that'd be awesome. I would 100% volunteer for that. No, and I think it's a great idea too, of something that's kind of like literally just like a test environment, unrelated to you know, fake heroes, fake skill trees. We could just, you know, just to show people what we're working on. I think that'd be awesome.
For sure. And also, like, just for anybody to just like go to this website, hit play, and like, okay, we're playing.
Yes. No, I think that'd be huge. ISO code, this is the guy who made the $100 challenge page that I gave him a shout out earlier. He was saying Workhorse confirmed it was what you were saying, Guy, in terms of like activate battle. Battle happens, publish on blockchain at the end of the battle.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I dig it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will be curious on what information in that like publish, like what is going to be like, is every single, I mean.
Well, they seem really excited about what's the new breakthrough they had with the size of transactions on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Was it Diamond or something like that? Diamond contracts?
So these Diamond contracts, they talked about last AMA was basically like, it's basically like Umbrella. Like it's a smart contract, but then underneath it, you could do like an infinite amount of smart contracts. And it's like super smart. The smart guys and the devs, we're already smart pushing my knowledge. Yeah, I don't know. This is how I understood it when they explained it. So
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's what the Diamond contracts are. So I'm assuming combat would be a similar kind of format of like under the umbrella of a smart contract.
You don't need all of the battle data to sit in the smart contract, which was a big hurdle the team was dealing with a year ago. Of like, how the hell do we have this turn-based game happen on chain in crypto and be able to keep it in this super small file size? Mm-hmm. Now with these diamond contracts, they'll be able to just reference another contract.
Interesting.
To have all that game data sit there.
Nice, I dig it.
Yeah, and I also, go to the team for that. Like I have no idea.
Yeah, as we keep talking, we'll realize how little we actually know about
these guys are super smart. And any of my rantings about balance and combos, like I still am so fucking amped. Like I might complain and get mad at Wowie because he's gonna beat me, but I'm still excited. Like Wowie's gonna beat me with his all berserker random team and my super basic, tank. I'm gonna do, knight, wizard, priest, and you're gonna be some weird combo, and I'm gonna be mad about it, but I'll still be happy with the team that they gave me that opportunity.
Right? Man, I think this is gonna be so varied.
The Holy Trinity,
I'm feeling Sage, Dread Knight, Dark Knight. It's gonna be my team.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like it'd be good.
That sounds pretty brutal.
Although, I mean,
I made a shift to my wallet, and we want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. A purchase was made recently.
A purchase. Yeah. Franz and I had a Gen 0 pair for a long time, where I had a legendary Archer and he had a legendary Fisher, and we've both have enough.
You meant whatever. Yeah, whatever.
A thief.
Yeah, that's what he meant. Whatever.
Yeah,
keep going. You said Fisher.
Yeah. So we were going for Dark Knights. So we both have a good chunk of Dark Knights, and I was looking to make a change. So I was looking at floor Gen Zeros to like sell my legendary, get a buffer of crystal, and then buy a floor Gen Zero in return. So I kind of ended up doing that, where I found someone to swap a Gen Zero with, and he's like, "Hey, I don't have crystal, but I have a Mythic Dragoon and a Mythic Sage. Would that cover kind of the difference in our value for heroes?" And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Wait, so what was the trade again?
So I had a legendary Gen Zero. He had a rare Gen Zero.
Oh, okay.
So we did that. And then to cover the difference in value, which is probably another 10,000 crystal, he gave me a Mythic Sage and a Mythic Dragoon.
Oh, shit.
The Mythic Sage still has 3 summons on it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
No, it gets better.
That.
It gets better.
And then Brown Gent saw me listing that Gen Zero because it's a Gen Zero Gardener. If I end up with 30 more Gardeners, I might go crazy. So he saw I was listing that Gen Zero at floor. So he hit me up, and I ended up selling the Gen Zero for like 27,000 crystal, like slightly below floor, but I didn't have to pay the market fee or whatever. Fee. So it ended up working out. And I made the mistake of hopping into DFK, the DGen dungeon in main DFK Discord, and someone was listing a Dread Knight. So I got a Dread Knight for 2,700 crystal.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool.
The Dread. Purchase the Dread.
So a month ago, like my top heroes were exactly what Maddie was saying. I was gonna go like Paladin, Priest, and maybe like Summoner or something. And now I'm probably gonna go the Dread Sage Goon triangle, which will be fun.
Heck yeah, brother. That's gonna be sick. Dread Sage
Non-whale podcast.
Non-whale podcast.
I know, I'm sitting over
how
here.
Far
Maybe
come.
Someday I can get a Gen Zero.
I think that is I'm pumped. I've been debating a Dread too. It's just I don't have enough patience. Like I'll make money on a good sale, and I'll be sitting on like 500 crystal, and I'm like, if I just sit for like a week or two, I might make another 500 crystal, and then I can start building up, and then maybe I could buy a Dread. But I spend it way too quickly before I can ever like actually build up something to buy a Dread.
It takes discipline to save.
I know. I get too excited when I see things on the market.
You're just like, oh my god, I need that.
Exactly. Well, they released these new skill trees, and I'm like, I need one of those. I need exactly what they just did.
Obviously. So good to know that you're gonna pump the floor of whatever.
Yep. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Never mind. I'm not gonna reveal that. It's too much. Double Foresight. I'm buying anything that's double Foresight. Like, I don't care. Their basic abilities, and I can't. I don't want to get into that. We got to wrap up. Big shout out, Wowie. Thank you for being our guest friends for the night. This was a lot of fun. Do you want to shout out? You do the Twitch stream. What's your Twitch? Give a shout out.
Yeah, catch me live on Monday evenings at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/0xwowie. I go over the latest class releases for the alpha. We go through every single, usually Maddie here and I go through every single ability released, and we rate it, and we talk about exactly how it's going to synergize in the game. It's really fun. I hope everyone shows up.
Yeah, we only go on a few tangents, so don't worry.
Yeah, I think I was doing it by myself earlier this week, and I think I got out of there at 2 hours.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice.
Very good. Yeah, that's always a lot of fun. I should be in next Monday, but we'll talk about that. We don't need to talk about that on stream. But Tosh, thank you so much for joining us. This was super awesome. It was super fun reminiscing about all your old streams. Like I said earlier in the stream, 100% big motivator for Bogside getting out there doing content was watching your videos and being like, oh, this game's so cool. This guy's so cool doing content. We could do that. That's awesome. So thank you for coming on and chatting with us. This was super fun. Eddie, floor is yours. You want to promote whatever, go for it. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Love it. Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see where the next adventures go for me in the crypto space. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be more active there. And then if you're interested in behavior science stuff, I also have a YouTube channel that I've been building up called Understanding Behavior. So check it out. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I appreciate this, and good to see all of my DFK fam here. And I'll catch you at the next one. Should be here more often.
Of course. Yeah. Open invitation. Doors.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whenever you want to come on, we would love to chat with you. You'll have to listen to me ramble about my combo theories, obviously. But,
I'm here for it.
Yeah. But you're welcome to join us. Guy, last thoughts for tonight. This was great as always.
What do we think next class is going to be from an ability?
Wowie had a theory, right? What was your theory, Wowie?
I do have a theory. I think that they are releasing things based off of a showcase schedule. So we've seen ranged physical, we've seen melee physical, we've seen healing, we've seen hyper support.
Yeah.
Then we saw our first hybrid ranged melee physical with super support options.
Yeah,
I think the next thing. Yeah, right. It was crazy.
Those aren't any. They don't fit any category. They're just weird classes. Yeah,
it's just a hybrid. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But I think what we're going to see next in the showcase is going to be magic damage. I think we're going to be seeing the wizard.
We're calling the wizard. Wizard's been called. Note it on the record. All right. For Guy Kid and for our guest Tosh and Wowie, thank you guys so much. This has been Bogside Chats. I do want to shout out, going live in 10 minutes is the Adventures in DefiKingdoms, guys. They're doing a stream. They're gonna probably be talking about, I hope, PvP. I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm gonna be jumping over there. I highly recommend everybody go check them out. Thanks everybody for joining, and we will catch you next time.
Oh wait, one last thing.
Hold the presses. What do we got?
If you're going to ETH Denver, send me a message on Twitter and let's meet up.
Interesting you said that. Grady confirmed he's going, and I believe
Nice.
Ogre confirmed Ogre's going too.
Yeah. That's what I was just chatting with Ogre with.
All right, beautiful. All right, yeah. So,
Beautiful.
so
We'll see some of you
DFK,
guys in
show up there.
Denver.
Yeah, you guys show up and kill it. All right.
All
We'll
right.
see you guys. Thanks.
Thanks again, guys. Peace.